Today, we'll explore the fascinating story behind Billie Jean, the song that changed pop music forever. Imagine creating a song so powerful that 40 years later, people can recognize it after hearing just a few notes. A song surrounded by mystery, a song inspired by obsession, a song that helped turn a talented performer into the biggest pop star the world had ever seen. When Billie Jean was released in 1983, nobody could have predicted what would happen next. The song would dominate charts around the world. Its music video would help change the television industry forever, and one legendary live performance would introduce a dance move that became known as the Moonwalk. But the story of Billie Jean begins long before the song was written. It begins with a young boy from Gary, Indiana, a boy who dreamed of becoming the greatest entertainer on earth. His name was Michael Jackson. Today, we'll explore the fascinating story behind Billie Jean, the song that changed pop music forever. Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. Life wasn't glamorous. He grew up in a small house with 8 siblings. Money was tight, but music was everywhere. His father, Joe Jackson, quickly noticed that his children had musical talent. Soon he formed a group that would become known as the Jackson 5. Among all the brothers, one child stood out: Michael. Even at a young age, his voice, confidence, and stage presence were extraordinary. Audiences couldn't take their eyes off him. By the age of 11, Michael Jackson was already a star. The Jackson 5 signed with Motown Records and released a string of successful songs. Songs like I Want You Back, DBC, and I'll Be There made them international sensations. But Michael wanted more than success as part of a group. He wanted to become an artist in his own right. During the 1970s, he slowly began building a solo career. The real breakthrough came in 1979. That year, Michael released an album called Off the Wall. Working alongside legendary producer Quincy Jones, he created something special. The album blended pop, funk, soul, and disco into a fresh new sound. It sold millions of copies and established Michael as a major solo artist. For many artists, that level of success would have been enough. For Michael Jackson, it was only the beginning. He had a bigger dream. He wanted to create the greatest album in music history. That dream became Thriller. Released in 1982, Thriller wasn't just another album, it was a cultural event. The album featured unforgettable songs including Beat It, Human Nature, Wanna Be Startin' Something, Thriller, and Billie Jean. But among all those classics, one song captured people's imagination more than any other: Billie Jean. According to Michael Jackson, the song was inspired by real experiences involving obsessive fans. Women would sometimes claim that famous performers were the fathers of their children. These stories stayed in Michael's mind for years. Eventually, they inspired one of the most famous songs ever written. The lyrics tell the story of a woman named Billie Jean. She claims that the narrator is the father of her child, but the narrator insists that her story isn't true. The result was a song filled with tension, mystery, and emotion. Yet it wasn't just the lyrics that made Billie Jean special. The opening bass line became one of the most recognizable sounds in music history: simple, powerful, unforgettable. The moment listeners heard it, they were hooked. When Billie Jean was released as a single in 1983, it quickly climbed the charts. Soon it became a #1 hit around the world. But an even bigger moment was about to arrive, and it would change Michael Jackson's career forever. On March 25, 1983, Michael Jackson took the stage during a television special celebrating Motown's 25th anniversary. Millions of people were watching. At first, it looked like just another performance, but then something unforgettable happened. As Billie Jean played through these speakers, Michael glided backwards across the stage. The audience couldn't believe what they were seeing. That move would soon become known as the Moonwalk. The next day, everyone was talking about it. Michael Jackson was no longer just a famous singer. He had become a global phenomenon. Around the same time, the music video for Billie Jean was released. The video featured Michael walking through city streets while the pavement lit up beneath his feet. It looked futuristic, stylish, different from anything audiences had seen before. The success of Billie Jean helped break barriers in the music industry. It became one of the first videos by a black artist to receive heavy rotation on MTV. This opened doors for countless artists who came after him. Meanwhile, Thriller continued to dominate the world. The album became a record-breaking success. Year after year, it kept selling millions of copies. Today, Thriller is still considered the best-selling album in music history, and Billie Jean played a major role in that achievement. But Michael Jackson wasn't finished. In 1987, he released Bad. The album produced massive hits including Bad, Smooth Criminal, and The Way You Make Me Feel. Then came Dangerous in 1991, featuring songs such as Black or White and Remember the Time. Michael continued to push the boundaries of music, dance, and entertainment. Over the years, he earned countless awards and broke numerous records. That's why he became known as the King of Pop. But even among all his incredible songs, Billie Jean remains special. Why? More than 40 years after its release, Billie Jean is still played in movies, television shows, sports arenas, and concerts around the world. That's the mark of a timeless classic. So the next time you hear that famous bass line, remember that you're not just listening to a hit song. You're listening to a piece of music history, a song that transformed an artist into a legend, a song that changed pop culture forever, a song called Billie Jean. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed discovering the story behind this legendary song, don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the world's greatest.